Hello, my dear friend. Today we talk about mononeuritis multiplex. So, at first, you should know what is mononeuritis multiplex. Mononeuritis multiplex is a neuropathy. There is one kind of polyneuropathy. But the difference is with polyneuropathy is it is mononeuritis multiplex is painful and it is asymmetrical. Polyneuropathy is symmetrical and mononeuritis multiplex is asymmetrical. Polyneuropathy is synchronous, but mononeuritis multiplex is asynchronous. And in both cases, mononeuritis multiplex can involve both motor and sensory. Also, polyneuropathy can also involve the both motor and sensory. And at first, I told you about it is asynchronous and involves two separate nerve areas, not the synchronous. It involves two separate nerve areas. That is, in a hand you can find a radial nerve palsy, and in the foot you can find the foot dog at the same time. Foot dog and radial nerve palsy. So, not the same areas, in two different areas, it involves at the same time. So, it is a painful, asymmetrical, asynchronous, in two separate nerve areas. And then the random area of the body can also be involved. And and at the time passes, it turn into polyneuropathy like physaris, like it is become less multifocal and more symmetrical. And it involves the bilaterally, distally, and both mononeuritis multiplex is common in both proximal and distal part, and in also the upper limb and lower limb. And actually, it is not a two distinct disease, but is a group of disorder. And it is the systemic disorder, also the systemic disorder, and the main etiology is there, and the main the pathogenesis occurs due to the vessel involvement, the vasa nervosum which supply the nerves, and and those disease who involve the vessel, and then the main pathogenesis of the vasculitis here. The diabetes, vasculitis, amyloidosis, or the direct involvement or infiltration by the nerves, such as amyloidosis, sarcoidosis. And so the two things is common in here. One is the vasculitis due to diabetes, vasculitis, pain, rheumatoid arthritis, SLE, and another one is infiltration by a paraneoplastic syndrome or amyloidosis or direct tumor involvement. This is the main focus here. And some other infective cause such as Lyme disease and other vasculitic cause such as Wagner, Sjogren, Caeculaminea, hypereosinophilia, temporal arterial disease, scleroderma, sarcoidosis, TTP, and other infective cause such as leprosy, acute viral hepatitis, parvovirus infection, Lyme disease, AIDS. This is the common. This is the common cause of mononeuritis multiplex. So, in a nutshell, we already know the mononeuropathy, polyneuropathy, and mononeuritis multiplex, and I already told you the cause of mononeuritis multiplex, and I already told you the what is the pathophysiology of this mononeuritis multiplex. Main cause pathology is vasculitis, another one is infiltration, and etiology I already told you about that. Some infective cause, some rheumatological cause, such as Behcet, Sjogren infection, Wagner, temporal arteritis, sleep pain, RA, chronic condition, diabetes, amyloidosis, celiac disease, some malignancy, all sort of malignancy usually, hematological disease, some cryoglobulinemia, Stargardt syndrome, hypereosinophilia. So this is the common cause of mononeuritis multiplex. And actually, 30%, the 30% cause is unknown of this mononeuritis multiplex. So the prognosis, So if you diagnose the early, you can give them some treatment. When there is identifiable cause, when there is underlying cause, the treatment will be more easy. And complication is same like all other neuropathies. There is food of risk of social stigmata, some autonomic dysfunction. And how can we approach? We can take a good history, or a good systemic history to identify the actual cause. And if there is infective foci such as Lyme disease, malignancy, and in case of malignancy, we can find lumps and bumps, white loss, malaise, anorexia. And in case of SIB, we can take a history of sexual exposure or extramarital affair like this. And the sensation of peripheral neuropathy, like this in case of mononeuropathy, multirace, such as numbness, tingling, sensation, dysesthesia, paralysis, are like this. And some example of mononeuritis valgus. So this is the common example: sciatic nerve, femoral, common femoral, axonal, medial nerve, perineal nerve, botonic dysfunction. And what is the test? This is a common test of neuropathy. We identify the some common tests such as liver function, renal function test, random blood sugar, and then the to identify the etiology, we can do borrelia bacteria antibody titer, HIV test, hepatitis, skin research therapy, and parvovirus infection level, and autoimmune profile to exclude there some autoimmune disease, ENA profile, electrophoresis. Say in special cases we can do NCS and EMG, and then if needed we can do nerve biopsy to see the what is the inflammatory cell in there. And ACV or in the case of ACV we find necrotizing vascularitis of epineural arteries. This is the picture. This is the picture of, and we can do the combined nerve and biopsy by muscle biopsy to differentiate between myopathy and neuropathy. And we can do, I already mentioned you some ENG, EMG and NCS. And we can also do some sensory nerve conduction also. So in case of mononeuritis multiplex, H reflex latency is absent. And H reflex is usually seen in case of tibial nerve. And we can do the NCS also. And here the findings is same like as axonal polyneuropathy. And the decrease in the motor action potential. In a axonal form, you can remember it by A for axonal, A for amplitude. In axonal, the amplitude will be reduced. And in case of demyelinating disease, the velocity will be reduced. And now we can do the needle electrode examination. What can we can do in case of muscle biopsy? We can see the spontaneous muscle membrane activity. This is positive sharp wave and fibrillation potential. We can find in case of uh, AMG findings. And treatment, it is solo progressive, and when there is we can find a cause, then we can treatment we can give the treatment of cause. And the management is same: patient education, counseling, and some anti and some polyneuropathic treatment. That's treatment is same. We can first time give the amitriptyline, gabapentin, or picabalin like drug. Then we can add lidocaine, capsaicin pairs, and then we can give some TENS therapy, and add on some antidepressant and opioid analgesic like this. And we can use the NMDA receptor such as dextromethorphan, or SNRI such as duloxetine we can use also. Encapsulating cream we can use, and some physical therapies, CP footwear, photoizing additive devices we can use this. So physical therapy, assistive devices, CP environment, footwear, photoizing, we can, and patient education. So thank you all for your patient hearing.